Welcome back to The Veteran Game, the channel where we delve deep into the heart of gaming. Today, we're taking a look at an unconventional title that has managed to stand out from the crowd, Loop8, Summer of Gods. This game bends genres and upends traditional gaming expectations in a way that's undeniably intriguing, even if it doesn't always hit the mark. Loop8, Summer of Gods diverges from the traditional RPG template. Instead of focusing on epic battles and intense stat building, it thrives in the realm of social simulation. As the newest member of the picturesque seaside town of Ashihara, you're not just another hero, you're Nini, tasked with protecting the town from invading spirits, the Kegai, and building friendships with the unique townsfolk. You'll spend your days studying maps, improving your stats, or engaging in the game's elaborate social system. The narrative is driven by an intricate, looping gameplay system. The goal is to survive until the end of the month, but this isn't straightforwardly explained to the player. Instead, the game encourages you to explore, experience, and shape your own narrative through the Corel system, an emotion-driven AI system. Each action you take will influence how characters react to you, affecting everything from dialogue to potential battles. This, in theory, promises to provide a unique experience with each loop. However, the looping narrative comes with its own challenges. With each new loop, some stats persist, but everything else resets. This means you'll find yourself going through the same conversations, experiencing the same events, and watching as Nini has the same revelations, creating a somewhat repetitive gameplay experience. Fortunately, the game does provide some solace in its system where progress, whether it's improving a relationship or training, can be regained far more quickly in subsequent loops. Loop8 introduces an interesting gameplay element in the form of Musesa, a mythical squirrel-like creature that frequently blesses characters with improved stats. These blessings persist through each loop, providing a strategic element in the gameplay as you decide who receives the blessings. One thing I cannot stress enough is that Loop8 is not a traditional RPG. This becomes apparent as you spend hours attempting to understand the Corel system, which at first feels complex but is eventually revealed as rather straightforward. It takes time and effort to understand how your actions impact relationships and dialogue options, and sometimes the reward for progressing a relationship doesn't feel gratifying. The battles in the game also diverge from RPG norms. Combat takes place in a mirror version of the town, and while visually pleasing, it's largely driven by the AI. Your allies' decisions in battle are influenced by their emotional connections, and the emotions you use to attack play a significant role in the difficulty of the fight. The more hate you use, the stronger the enemy becomes. This requires strategic thinking and planning for each battle. However, Loop8 struggles to maintain its charm over time. The repetitious nature of each loop can become a slog, despite the game's attempt to add variety and depth through the social system and blessings. My numerous attempts at finally surviving till September seemed less a product of strategy or skill, and more a result of endurance. That being said, Loop8, Summer of Gods isn't without its merits. This game is a fascinating exploration of game design. It experiments with mechanics and narratives in a way that few other games dare to. While it stumbles in its execution, and can be exhausting due to its design choices, it showcases some truly intriguing ideas. There's real potential in this title, even though it's obscured by some of the gameplay and narrative choices. Ultimately, Loop8, Summer of Gods is a mixed bag. On one hand, it's an engaging experiment in social simulation and game design, full of promising ideas. On the other, it's a repetitive loop that requires a considerable investment of time, without always providing a satisfying reward. It's one of the most interesting games I'll play this year, but also potentially one of the most disappointing. Nonetheless, for those who are looking for something out of the ordinary, it might just be worth taking a trip to Ashihara. Until next time, keep on gaming.